Okay, attention all moms. You don't have to dread the hectic schedule that comes with the new school year. Our next guest says you can make life easier at home by applying rules from the workplace. She's a leadership expert and the author of Mom in Chief, How Wisdom from the Workplace Can Save Your Family from Chaos. Welcome, Jamie Woolf. Good to see you, Mom in Chief.
Thank you.
Now, you know, even when my kids, who are now grown up, were little, back to school time was really hectic. I'm sure it's even more hectic these days. You've got to convince me that there is a way to make it easier.
Well, I don't think it's realistic to eliminate the chaos.
Right.
But I do think there are leadership strategies that you can adopt to keep your mind on the bigger picture and not get lost in the niggling details.
Yeah, I think that's what we all need to hear. And by the way, before we get to specific tips for our viewers, how did you come up with this concept that you can apply principles from the workplace to home life to make home life easier?
Well, as a leadership consultant for 25 years in a variety of businesses, I began to see that leadership principles apply both to businesses and families. And the most effective leaders and the most effective parents really use the same set of skills to bring out the best in others, to help people reach their full potential.
And I'm assuming you tried out some of these principles in your home.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to the first one. You said that parents should talk up the new school year to the kids. What do you mean by that? How do they do that?
So always frame the impending school year in a positive light. So for example, if your boss comes and talks to you about a new assignment and is all negativity and cynicism, it's not exactly going to fire up the employees so that they're not going to do their best job.
Right.
So similarly, when we're talking about the school year, we can inadvertently talk about it in a very negative way. We can talk about how we dread the head-spinning carpool logistics and the homework struggles. And so what we're doing unwittingly is instilling kind of a negative attitude about school.
So focus on the things that are going to be positive and enjoyable about the upcoming year.
Right.
The enjoyable challenges.
Right.
You also say enlist the whole family in this effort. How do you go about doing that?
Well, I think it's really important to enlist them in the big picture goals. So, for example, every business venture that's successful is fueled by exciting, compelling challenges and goals. And so thinking big picture, you can talk to your kids about what are your hopes about the new year. And it's a really good time for parents to reflect, what do I want out of this school year? Do I want to really instill responsibility in my kids? Or do I want to do a better job of carving out time for myself so that I'm a happier mom?
Now, when you talk about goals like that, it's easy to talk in generalities. I assume we should be specific in charting out these goals?
Yeah, so specificity is key. So I can say, oh, we're going to have the best school year ever, or I'm going to get physically fit this year because that's going to make me happier. But if I say I'm going to hike in the hills on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I'm going to take my friend Alice with me, much more likely that I'm going to achieve my goal than if I simply say I'm going to get more physically fit.
Right.
So the same concept applies when we're talking about things like we're going to get our homework done and it's going to all go more smoothly this year. So we have to sit down with our families and get some agreements about, okay, we're going to do homework from 4 to 5:30. We're going to get our homework done before dinner so we can go out and play, and then we'll be able to enjoy ourselves.
Now, how do we go about identifying the challenges that are coming up in the new year?
Well,
a new school year, I should say.
Yeah, so business leaders have a keen sense of what those potential challenges are that can derail you, get you off track. So it's really important to think about what the challenges are. When you hit setbacks, they're inevitable. It's important to recommit to that bigger picture. To really think about what is it that my intention is, what is it that I'm trying to achieve here. You might need to try plan B because plan A didn't work, and then recommit to a different plan of action rather than getting into blaming and excuses and things that we can't control.
And set and clarify your priorities.
Exactly, yeah.
Tell us more about Mom in Charge. What is that? Where did that concept come from?
So Mom in Chief.
Mom in Charge. Mom in Charge.
Mom in Charge, Mom in Chief.
If you're Mom in Chief, you're Mom in Charge too.
Right. So the idea is really that moms are leaders. Moms and dads are leaders. It's a leadership job. And I think the job of parents is often trivialized. It's not even seen as real work. And so I think it's really important to think about all of the leadership skills that it takes to raise a human being. You need to communicate well, manage conflict. You need to bring out the best in people by knowing how to listen and knowing how to create a motivating environment and create a cohesive family culture.
Yeah, well, it's been motivating having you on the show. This is great.
Well, good.
And now all of you can start your school year feeling good about yourselves and the upcoming challenges. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, Mom in Chief.
Thank you very much.
Okay.